The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is presented on speed by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer. Brought to you in part by Camping World. Visit Camping World for a sweet deal on pre-owned RVs. They have the largest selection in the country. And by Touch of Gray. Gets rid of some gray, never all. Well, and the sun is beginning to set here in Talladega, Alabama.
And I'm beginning to get my breath. I got my breath back.
Let's take a look at our point standings.
Heart rate's about normal, I'd say.
Bodine with a 213-point lead, so a little bit cut into that lead by Eric Almirola, but probably not enough to make Todd Bodine too worried with 3 races still to go. Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton moves up a spot, and Austin Dillon drops down a spot.
Looking like that top 5 is about making itself defined, with Austin Dillon jumping 80-some points ahead of Hornaday.
Let's take a look at tonight's Touch of Gray winning touch moment. Well, of course, it's coming through the tri-oval.
You know, Eric Almirola was very visibly upset about Kyle Busch, and he talked about maybe he went below the yellow line. And he said, you know, I would be severely disappointed, Michael, I think, with Kyle Busch had he not tried to win that race. I know Eric Almirola pushed him to the win last year. They were teammates, but hey, you know, you got to try to win them when you can win them.
Well, that was the Touch of Gray winning touch moment. Touch of Gray gets rid of some gray, never all.
I never thought he wasn't going to try to pass him. I knew for sure he was going to do something at some point. It looked like he's even thinking about getting him loose, like he was moving all around on that tailgate of Almirola, and finally Almirola couldn't hold on to it anymore, and Kyle made the inside. How about winning at Talladega sideways? We saw the same thing at Daytona in February. They went across the line side by side and sideways.
Absolutely.
Adam Alexander is caught up with Matt Crafton, who finished 4th.
A wild day at Talladega. Matt Crafton comes home in the 4th position. Your teammate right in front of you. Talk about your afternoon.
It was awesome. I mean, we rode, and I didn't want to ride, but I got to thank Kyle Busch. I mean, he pushed us up there, led some laps with him, and then we just got to be there at the end. I mean, that's just what you learn. I mean, learn on these. I mean, there's been so many races I've wrecked in the middle of them, wrecked at the end of them, and just I try to learn a little bit throughout the race. And I had some really good trucks that pushed me there at the end, and finally got the 13th bumper, and I couldn't get locked up with him to get him to push the lead. But I got to thank these guys a lot. I mean, this truck was an awesome day. I mean, Menards, Australian Gold, and Chevy. I mean, it was close, but no cigar.
13th consecutive top 10 finish for Matt Crafton.
Well, he never made it through the first lap at Daytona, and today's strategy was go to the back and wait till the end, and it looks like it worked out for ThorSport.
Yeah, we went back about 5,000 times whether we should go to the back on the initial green before we even took the green, and we decided to do that, and just a great weekend for ThorSport all around. FarmPaint.com, Curb Record Chevy was solid. I knew it was yesterday in practice, and we found something yesterday in practice. The 51 got behind me, and we both pulled out to the outside, and we cleared like 8 trucks, and I was like, this is what we need to do. We talked about it today at driver intros, and got to thank Eric Almirola. We would have never been in that position had he not pushed me, but just solid. I mean, Matt and I drafted all day long, and you know, we were able to come home 3rd and 4th. Solid day for ThorSport.
Oh, but just another foot or two for the 13.
Plenty of smiles and well wishes for Ricky Carmichael. Another top 5 finish. 4th top 10 in the last 5 races. Take us through the afternoon.
It was pretty crazy. We got a good qualifying spot, and we rode there, and then I knew after that first caution things were going to shake up. Then we had another green flag run, and I lost a lap due to caution, and then anyhow, it was crazy. I was learning some stuff with like 20 to go, just trying some things, because I'm like, I never seem like I'm learning the draft, you know, because I'm just following. And it was a learning experience. We're really happy for this Monster Energy Chevrolet Turner Motorsports. We got it going, and hopefully my luck has turned around. You can see I went through that last wreck, so pretty good, really happy. And like I said, all the pieces of the puzzle are getting put together, and just happy to get a top 5.
Late in the season, Carmichael on a roll.
Very impressive for Ricky Carmichael. Again, 6 wins in the 2010 season for that young man, just 25 years old, and he continues to notch his name in the history books of NASCAR. The Mountain Dew 250 presented on Speed by Dodge will wrap up here on Speed in just a moment. It's really hard, you can say, that you expect something when you come to a racetrack, but we always expect 2, 3, 4 wide racing when we come to Talladega. We always expect the big one, and we normally expect a great finish, but we got everything and then some in this race.
You said we expected it, and we got it. We got great racing, 3, 4 wide racing, and how about this finish here, Mikey?
For the 3rd year in a row, a last lap pass at Talladega decides this win. Look at Eric Almirola driving that truck, trying to keep it straight. Kyle Busch getting into the side of Almirola and then turning sideways toward the infield. He goes across the start-finish line with that truck out of control.
Remember, we saw Bobby Hamilton win Atlanta one time sideways in a battle with Mike Skinner.
You know, Matt Crafton, by the way, was only 0.129 seconds away from the lead.
Oh, he was way behind.
And he was in 4th in that 88 truck.
Look at Kyle rubbing around on that rear bumper, and that's why we saw Almirola up there in that truck with his hands all over the place. It got him wiggling a little bit, and that opened the door. It almost opened the door for 2 of them to go around him.
Look how sideways Kyle Busch was. He was so sideways, his splitter drugged the racetrack on the left front corner. Look at this view right here. Here's the leader right here, Eric Almirola. Now he's trying to stay down to the yellow line, but Kyle Busch doesn't want him to stay down there.
Watch him, watch his hands. Watch Almirola's hands if you can see him. He goes out of sight, but he's driving the heck out of that truck.
Almirola came up the racetrack just after they came out of the tri-oval, and that opened the door for Kyle Busch.
He had Kyle pushing him, and I think if he would have tried to go to turn to the inside, he may have spun out, Mikey.
Great run for Ricky Carmichael, James Buescher, Austin Dillon, another phenomenal run for that rookie.
Schrader with a great 11th place finish, considering that truck was tore all to pieces when he got in that wreck and still came home 11th.
Todd Bodine coming in, our point leader, a top 20 finish for him after being involved in that big accident, as well as Hornaday on his roof.
What if you're Hornaday? So what happened to Talladega? Finished 21st. Really? Yeah.
Flipped. Yeah, we got upside down, but yeah.
Halloween Eve here on Speed, and we had a lot of fun earlier. Our next race, we go to Texas Motor Speedway, the WinStar World Casino 350, and that is a night race from Texas Motor Speedway.
I think I can catch my breath by next Friday night.
Yeah. There's a lot of speed at Texas, though. Speed's fun.
Speed is fun. Over 195 miles an hour were the trucks here, and some were on their roof. But in the end, it was the 18 once again. Kyle Busch, closest margin of victory in the trucks.
Next week, the Camping World Truck Series makes its 2nd trip of the season to the Lone Star State to once again take on the Texas Motor Speedway. Earlier this year, our points leader became a 6-time winner in Texas.
The 30 of Todd Bodine.
Will he continue to dominate and make it lucky number 7? Or will somebody else be wearing the cowboy hat? Chris Devoda hosts the setup starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by flag-to-flag coverage, only on Speed.